Well, here are the challenges. These are the figures for Chilean wine on the Swedish market from the beginning. And it started, back in 1990. The first year came up to only 500,000 liters. But in 1 year, you increased the sales by 10 times, up to 5 million liters. And then there was a flat until 1998, where you had another peak or another leap upwards until 2002, and then it stayed quite flat again. And last year, it was actually down 0.5%. So, my question to you, because I'm not giving you the answers, I'm just telling you how it is. My question to you is, are you ready for another leap? I think it's absolutely possible for Chile, and I would like to give you something that is not that positive. It looks like this, and you can see that red line going up into the sky. Those are the sales of South Africa. And it is dramatic, isn't it? I think it's very interesting to compare Chile and South Africa, because there's a lot of market-wise similarities. It was two countries left out of the international market for a long time, but in a very short period of time you were able to come up with modern, very well-made and compatible wines. So why do you see this difference in style? You can see that by the new turn of the millennium in 2000, South Africa was behind you. Now it is up. Here are the figures for the last year. South Africa is the market leader with 30.2 million liters. Slight drop, but nothing to worry about. Italy last year was up almost 10% to 33 million liters. Australia down almost 10% to 23. Spain down 6.5, 21. France is up 11. Chile almost equal. USA up 45% in 1 year. Germany down 10, Argentina down 12. You know, Argentina's success, everyone's talking about it. They should be worried in Sweden. So why do you see those dramatic changes in just 1 year? That has only one reason, and that is something that many of you don't like to hear. It all comes back to bag-in-box. I know you think of bag-in-box as McDonald's or that Taco Bell again. Well, it might be, but that is what people are buying. And you are looking at bag-in-box in a way of what you have in your shops here, and you think that's awful wines. Well, in Sweden, we have premium wines in bag-in-box, and we have plenty of wine that is sold both in bottle and in bag-in-box. And every time a wine or a box have been introduced parallel to the bottled wine, it has increased the sales of the bottled wine. It has not taken anything away, it actually increases the sale. And in that perspective, I think that Chile could easily double their sales in Sweden. The reason why United States is up 45% has only one reason. There was a tender for a Zinfandel, and that meant that many of the Swedish importers, they were able to offer to respond to that tender, and when they did not win it, they launched it through an ordering assortment, which you are able to do in Sweden, and it became an immediate success, up 45%. Chile can do the same thing. If I should look at the Swedish market from the future, or on it from at the future, you can see that we have this increasing interest in food and wine pairing, very, very important. We can also see that we have a highly increased demand for organic and biodynamic wines. The monopoly is very focused on fair trade, and well, the consumers have not really responded to it, but I think that it might be of higher importance in the future. There is also a continued increase for rosé, sparkling, and premium bag-in-box. You saw that the figures for Chile was down 0.5%, which is not much. But if you look at the figures in detail, it is quite worrying, because you are down both on red and white. The only reason why you were able to maintain your market share in Sweden was because of a rise in rosé, 22%. Just in the last quarter, an increase in wintertime. You know, you saw the pictures from Norway. That's how it looked. We drink rosé and in wintertime as well. It was up 22% in the last quarter. Sparkling wine from Chile was up 64% in that quarter. So that's something that no one has been talking about. We have seen a few rosés in the tasting, we've seen a few sparkling wines. You can do much better in those two categories. And those are trends. I think that the Swedish market is in many senses a trend setting. It's a young, undeveloped market, and undeveloped means that we are looking for new things all the time. We don't buy the wines that our fathers did or our mothers did. We are buying the wines that our friends are talking about. And you know, in France nowadays, 50% of the market, the sales of rosé wine is just as big as the white wines. That's a coming category, and you have to focus on that more. Sparkling is growing tremendously. Sweden is now ranking among the top 10 consumers of champagne. Sparkling wine is very popular. Go for that. And then the bag-in-box. Forget your prejudices against that packaging. It is growing. It's 60% of the Swedish market. In the United States, it's 30% of the market. It is the fastest growing segment in the world of wine today. And you have to attack that as well. Screw caps, 100% acceptance. I would say very few people are looking for natural cork today, at least when it comes to wine for everyday consumption. I also expect a renaissance for classic wines, and from your point of view, you could read that as classic styles, and that is blended wines, which would be interesting. There is also a greater demand for unique products, and I think I'm one of the reasons for that with my colleagues. We, as journalists, are always looking for something, a new story to tell our readers, so we are pushing that forward. We can see a change, and this is not only on wines, and it's not only in Sweden, we see that all over the world. People are buying more expensive wine at weekends and cheaper wines for the week. And finally, this is something that we're not talking about when it comes to wine, but non-alcoholic wines is growing very fast in Sweden. And in the future, I think this is really an interesting thing to look into. Miguel Torres, I don't know if there's anyone from Miguel Torres here. They are producing two wines now in Penedès, one white and one red, that has gained a good market in Sweden. It's low sales, but it shows a future. In Europe, many people are talking about low alcohol wines, and I can tell you that I've tasted a lot of low alcohol wines, but so far I haven't tasted one single wine that I would put any money into. First of all, they're not good. Secondly, they are not alternatives. I'm not looking for an alternative to drinking wine. I'm looking for an alternative to drinking Coca-Cola or mineral water with my lunch when I'm working, or if I have something important to do tomorrow. So that is something that also could be interesting. Not very exciting, but it's there. Thank you.
Wines of Chile, the natural choice.